This is Larry Connors USA. Larry Connors USA.
Welcome back. One of my favorite guests now on board with us, and I know many of you enjoy hearing him, and some of you have problems with him sometimes, but he never holds back on his statements. John LEBOUTILLIER, former U.S. Congressman from New York, a never-Trumper, but a Reaganite from the beginning. John, welcome aboard again, sir.
Hello, Larry. It's a very accurate description.
Good. I did something right. I appreciate it. John, you're governor of New York State. You told us before that he's really a bully. In fact, I'm looking at and of course, these recent allegations from the women. And what gets me is that the sexual stuff is suddenly bigger than the nursing home scandal, and yet there are bombshell reports on that today, as you know, from Wall Street Journal and the Times. But I'm looking at his toxic work environment, according to some of the aides, saying that he chewed out an aide that he made her cry because some people didn't pronounce his name right. What is your take again on Cuomo?
Well, just that. I mean, he is a total bully. He's a real SOB. But I think he's going to be tough to get out of here right away. I think that he will hang in. He's old enough and smart enough to know that as hot as it all is at the moment for him, the focus is on him. A month from today, it won't be on him. There'll be something else that'll happen, some other news story that we'll move on to. And if he has lasted, he thinks he can stay. And I'll give you a perfect example. Al Franken has had so many regrets that he quit. He should have not quit, in his view. He should have stayed. And once people move on, they're not so angry at you. So I think Cuomo is a tough guy. He's going to hang. I wish he'd go away. I don't like him.
Well, and again, we're talking sexual allegations of Franklin as well, but you had the Virginia governor, Virginia attorney general. They both stayed through their sexual allegations.
Yeah.
And, of course...
And the blackface thing, too.
Right.
All that blackface
Right.
stuff.
I forgot about that. You're right.
And the last I saw, Ralph Northam, the governor, had a huge, high popularity rating. He rebounded after that thing. You never would have thought he was on the verge of, we thought, being driven from office. And survived it.
So these are sexual allegations. I point out to the audience all the time, it's one word against the other generally. And, of course, the left attitude has always been believe the woman until it's focusing on one of their people normally. But aside from that, the bigger, the more important issue, to my knowledge, no one died because he inappropriately touched someone according to their allegations or kissed them without their desire. But the nursing home scandal, and now reports on the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, that top advisors were basically helping remove data so the nursing home figures would not be so high.
Right. But I don't think, now I'm not defending anything, but I've tried to understand what is going on. And I don't think they ever, in the total number of deaths each day and each week here in New York State, they gave accurate totals of who died. What they fudged was where they died.
Right.
They downplayed the numbers from the nursing homes and put those numbers in the overall number. So I don't quite know why.
Well, I'll tell you why, because Cuomo even made a remark at one time, said, if they died in the hospital, they died in the hospital. That's not nursing home death. So he was already building that. He was building that excuse and alibi from the beginning.
Well, and he did another thing that, as I recall last summer, was in the news here a lot. And there were patients in hospitals that were being overrun. They didn't have capacity. So they moved some of these patients out of the hospital. They're sick with COVID. They moved them out over into nursing homes.
Yeah. And they had I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say they had the hospital ship that Trump had sent up there. They had opened up that facility, and I'm drawing a blank on it right now. As you know, they made
Javits Center.
Javits Center, thank you. And neither was really used.
Well, the hospital ship always was going to be used for non-COVID cases.
Right.
So if you had to have a knee operation or something, they'd take you and do it there so that you'd be kept away from COVID. They ended up never using it for really anything, and they got rid of it. They sent it back to the federal government. They did finally get a hold of the overall COVID hospitalization issue. But, the nursing home thing stinks. I knew last summer when I was watching the daily briefings from Cuomo that he was getting too much hubris, too much arrogance with the praise he was getting. And he's writing a book in the middle of a crisis that isn't over yet. Yeah.
You know, before you joined us,
on the back.
Before you joined us in our opening segment, I went back to a clip of Cuomo from 2019 saying these women should be honored that came out and they're speaking out and what they've been through and that they're willing to stand up to their accusers. I mean, that was 2019. And, of course, Trey Gowdy pointed out a year ago this month at that time, as you said, many on the left were saying, you know, Cuomo could be presidential timber. I mean, look at how he's doing things. He should be the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Where are we now?
Yeah, well, he's in a tough spot. Now, the latest polling here in New York State shows that people believe he did do the sexual harassment. They also believe, a majority or a plurality, that he should finish out his term, which goes through next year and ends at the end of 2022, but that he should not run for re-election. Now, he's in his third term. A lot of people in the Democratic Party and now the Republican Party are making noises about running against him next year. I don't think he's going to quit, and I think he'll run again. I think this is one mean, tough guy that you'll have to drag him out of that job.
So on the COVID issue itself, I see that Connecticut is also apparently going to lift, if I understand right, all restrictions, no mask mandate, much like they're doing in Texas. Am I wrong? I might have misheard part of that.
I don't think Connecticut. Well, I don't know. They're lifting something.
Yeah, I know they're changing and they're lifting a lot. Oh, I know what it was. They're going to allow restaurants, I think, to go to 100%. I believe I did hear that, but may still have the mask mandate. So what is your take? Because we're already hearing that if there's a COVID outbreak in Texas, because the governor said you don't have to use, with the mask mandates off, we're going to open up the businesses, and yet we continue to have illegals coming across the border that have COVID, and we're actually finding some of them, but how many others are going untested? And those who are found positive, they're being told, go somewhere, stay one place, quarantine for a while. Do you really think they do that? So if there's a COVID outbreak, who's going to get blamed? The governor of Texas or the Biden administration for allowing these illegals in?
Well, definitely the Biden administration. If you're letting illegals in who are carrying COVID, that's just crazy. Now, if you're letting them in and locking them up while you test them and maybe ultimately vaccinate them, maybe that's different. I really don't know. The governor, I think, was a little quick with the trigger finger on lifting all these restrictions. We're near the finish line of this thing. We know that by the end of May, that's the month after next, every adult in America can get vaccinated by the end of May if they choose to.
But Fauci said
that really is a huge turning point.
But Fauci says we're going to be in the same situation through March of 2022.
Well, I didn't hear him say that. I mean, I think he echoes the administration, which is we're going to have enough vaccines. Things are going to get better. But even when you're vaccinated, you're still going to need to wear masks in public. You're still going to need to be a little bit careful in public places because there are going to be people near us who aren't vaccinated, who are carrying the virus.
And the governor of Texas made that clear. He said you still need to do your own personal protection ruling on your own. Supreme Court today dismissed 3 requests to hear challenges about taking and keeping federal dollars from sanctuary cities. The Biden rescinding Trump's 2017 executive order, and the Biden administration told the DOJ just dismiss those cases, so they filed it. Nothing for the court to do but say put them aside. What do you think about they're basically opening up New York City, your area, San Francisco, the whole state of New York, the whole state of California and others, sanctuary policy everywhere for everyone?
Well, this will shock you, even though I don't like Trump. I agree with the Trump use of federal money to say to a city that's going to receive federal money, we're not giving you the money or this much money unless you clamp down on illegal immigration. You can't be hiding, in effect, condoning illegality. And we're going to pay you for that? We don't have a handle on this immigration thing as a country. We just don't have it.
Well, Biden's making it worse. I mean, they're basically saying the door's open, and then they're saying, but don't come yet. But they're going to come. They're going to come, and they are coming.
Well, I think what he said so far is he's not going to separate families that come. We're not going to do that anymore. Families can stay together. I'm not quite clear what's going to happen to them, the family unit, if and when it gets into America. Are they going to be granted an asylum hearing. And while they wait for the asylum hearing, are they free to go wherever they want? That's been the policy in the past.
I'm afraid that's what's going to happen. One final question. I mean, you're always so good at everything and so candid. Is the governor of New York going to be indicted? 30 seconds. Is he going to face charges for the nursing home?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think he will.
John, I want to thank you.
Not that I don't want him to.
Okay. That's where I was also going with the next question. Listen, John, as always, we appreciate it. And for some of you listening right now, you should know that we have, and John, for your knowledge, this is going to be one of our segments we're going to put up on our YouTube channel. I'm just going to have to get your video up there, get a picture of you so they know, what a handsome guy you are and how young and vibrant you are. And,
exactly. Well, go to the Playboy magazine. I was in there in 19. I was.
All right, John. I may well do that. John, I might add. Thanks, John. We'll do it again.
Okay.
You bet. John LeBoutillier. You bet. John LeBoutillier. You want to hear what's coming up next? Stand by.